Hello everybody, back here again for a vlog a day, and today is Monday the 25th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, really decent time frame, didn't sleep real well, but it kind of is what it is. So got up though, got around, got the dogs outside, got them all what they needed, grabbed my banana and my bottle of water. No hard-boiled eggs because I'm out and I'm too lazy to make any, so it takes, I don't know, 25 minutes probably. It's not that big a deal, but it's just, I don't do it. So need to get back in it, get it done, because hard-boiled eggs are good for me. So, but yeah, went ahead and jumped in the hot tub for a little bit. Wife got around, got off to work, and came out and gave me a kiss goodbye. And then I got out of the tub, hung out with the dogs for a little bit for the day, just kind of getting a few things accomplished. Nothing too major in the process, but getting a few things done. And then from there, went ahead and just kind of chilling out with them. And I got a call from my neighbor asking if I could come over, basically because her house smelled weird. And I was like, what? She goes, I smell like old cardboard or something when I walk in the house. So I was like, okay, let me put the dogs up. So I put the dogs up, went over, and when we walked in, the furnace had kicked on. So it wasn't that stagnant smell right there where by the door when she first walks in, which is where her main cold air return is. When you walk in her door, you hit, it's a weird hallway. It's a real dumb layout. But you walk straight into the door, and that behind that door is like a little closet. To the right is the air conditioner furnace room, and there's a cold air return going to the dining room and a cold air return going to the living room on the same cabinet, basically, lack of a better term. So walked around, didn't smell anything, tried to smell stuff, and she goes, I don't smell it either right now. So I was like, okay, well, we got time this Wednesdays. I'm gonna try it. If you notice that smell again, if you notice it happening again, turn your AC down, or turn it up to like 80 degrees so it won't kick on. Wait a couple hours, and then invite me, or preferably my wife, back over, because she has a better sniffer than I do, and see if we can pinpoint the location. But in the process of talking about it, I popped the door open and looked, and her furnace filter is disgusting. Holy crap, it's so gross. And I was like, oh, you gotta change this. It's like so bad, it's like sucking up in, it's like crushed, which means all the dirt is going around the filter and is basically plugging up our A-frame, which is what the air conditioner is, and blah, blah. So I'm like, you gotta get that coil cleaned also. That's another step that has to be done, but you've gotta get the filter. Luckily, she goes, I just changed it. I go, when? And she goes, well, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, she's like, it was probably 3 months ago. I'm like, this needs to be done like every month. These filters, we have so much dust in our house, and the furnaces run so much in air conditioning. Like, they're pulling a lot of dust out of the house, and it's every month, like, you can change. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. My mom said every 6 months. And I'm like, no, it's back in the old days, back like 25, 30 years ago, when people were saying every 6 months, but they're using these giant, like, fiberglass filters that barely stop sand. They didn't take out dust. They didn't take out mites and allergies and all that kind of stuff. She goes, well, I've noticed my kids and I have both been really fighting a lot with our asthma. I'm like, oh, that furnace filter is a large part of it. So luckily, she happened to have the same size furnace as I run at my house. So I was able to go across the street, grab a new filter, which I run the big giant 2-inch filters. She had a little shitty 1-inch, and I popped out the little dividers for her and slid the 2-inch in. And she's like, well, I got those on at Publix and stuff, and I actually paid like 25 bucks for it or some crap, but a little shitty 1-inch. And I'm like, oh, first off, never buy anything like that at Publix. That's like a grocery store. You don't buy that there. You buy it at Home Depot or Amazon, preferably. And I'm like, mine are less than $10 a piece, and they're literally gonna last you 3 times as long. So it's way better furnace filter. So, and went ahead and left the little dividers there. I'm like, hey, you need to get a bunch of packing tape and write on a note saying, do not throw those away. These are for the furnace if I want to run a 1-inch filter again. So I stuck them off the side. She opens that door like, I don't know, never. So I don't think it's gonna be a thing, but I told her, I said, make sure you mark those, because you'll want them if you ever do want to go back to a 1-inch filter, or for some reason you want to run a dual filter, say you want a charcoal filter for odor or who knows what, she'd be able to do that. So, but I doubt she'll do that, so I'll probably end up writing a note out myself, going across with some tape and taping it up saying, do not throw these away, these are important. So, but yeah, that's how they did that. And then we got talking about some other stuff around the house, and she knows nothing about like home maintenance or anything. So since I was over there, she was showing me around some other things and was concerned about stuff, because when she first told me the smell, when she texted me about it, I called her and I said, does it smell like old fish, like squid or something? Like, it smell like a fishy smell? She's like, no, it smells like cardboard. I'm like, okay, because if you smell like fish smell in your house, you most likely have electrical fire starting, which most time comes from a bad light switch and it's come loose. starts creating a little bit of spark, creates some heat, and the smell of that insulation burning smells like old fish. It has a squid smell to it. It's a real weird smell. And if you've been around electrical fires, you know it immediately. So, and if you haven't been around them, you just think it's an odd, rotteny smell. And that wasn't what she had. So I was like, cool. And she showed me, she had like a couple light switches that one was like a dimmer switch that when you tap the wall, the light flickers. I'm like, your switch is going bad. It's super easy. We talked about one of the light to her laundry room. The switch is by the garage when you come in from the garage to it, but they hardly ever use that way. So they're coming from the hallway into the laundry room. You got to go across the room to get to the switch. So I'm like, why don't you just put a motion sensor in there so it automatically turns on every time you walk in the room so you don't have to reach over for the switch. She goes, oh, that's super smart, but she has no idea how to do it. I'm like, right now your shit broke. I understand you have no money, but as soon as you get back, you get some cash and get some bills paid off and whatnot, let me know, and we can run to Home Depot or order my Amazon, whatever, and I can swap these out. I can show you how to do it if you want to learn, or just swap them out for you. It's not a big deal. I think your son's like 10, so it'd be a good learning experience for him. If he wanted to learn how to do a little bit of electrical, I could teach him like where the breaker box is and some general little electrical stuff that you teach a 10-year-old. You're not going to have him rewire a whole house, but it gives him enough knowledge to show him that it's not scary if you have knowledge. So, but yeah, so once she gets a couple dollars, we can fix these things. We talked about a few other things around the house and different situations and whatnot. So that was kind of fun. I love like teaching people stuff. So able to teach her about maintenance. I said, go set a reminder on your phone to check your filter every month. And this filter shouldn't need to change for probably 3 months, but you know how dirty your house is. Like you got kids running in and out all the time. And she sometimes smokes in the house too, which is not great for the filters. And she burns candles in there often, which candle soot is really bad for furnace filters. They plug them up really fast. So but yeah, we talked about different things, and she talked about like how she'd like to redo the kitchen and stuff. I'm like, you're right now, she was like, not now, but future. I'm like, yeah, there's some things we could do, and I'd happily help you redesign and figure out what you want to do here, but right now it's not in your concern. So that was kind of fun. We got chatting a little bit. She was doing a little sweeping and mopping and stuff. We were chatting, and then got down there, headed back across the street, and hung out with the dogs, just chilling out there and doing the general like life thing with the dogs and hanging around with them, and they're having a good time. And wife was planning on going out with a coworker after work for dinner, and so I was on my own for the night. So I'm like, no big deal. I'll figure out what we're gonna do for dinner, and no problem. So as I was sitting around, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out for my run, so I can get my run done. Got back my run, and then found out that my wife said she was not going to dinner tonight with her coworker. She was coming home, and that they were gonna hopefully go out tomorrow night instead. I'm like, okay, cool, but right now I don't have time to make anything for dinner, so kind of up in the air world. But got back my run and all that good fun stuff. I reached out to the daughter of the guy who's building my garage. The guy is horrible about answering phone calls, and he will never reply back to text. So it's one of those situations where he gave me his daughter's number like last year. It's been not long we worked on this damn thing, and she's pretty good about getting back stuff. I told her, I said, hey, my slab's done, concrete's done, when can we get the building built? And she's like, yeah, it should be soon. I went over the colors of what color I wanted to make sure, 100%. And I thought I knew, so I went and looked. I did have a color chart, so I went and found my color chart and made sure I picked the right one, which ended up being Glacier Blue. It's not a dead match for my house, but it's close enough that with the 7.5 foot gap, you'll never know the difference. So it will not be a problem there at all. But yeah, so went ahead and chat about that back and forth. She had no idea. When was gonna hear her answer was soon. So I'll set a reminder on my phone. Remember to call her again tomorrow or text her tomorrow. Find out if we have any updates on when this will happen. So who the hell knows? But yeah, it's fun. I just have to make the final decision of where I want my windows placed, and also if I want to put my doors on the ends of the building or on the sides of the building. I may wind up 100% on that. I'm kind of still up in the air. Part of me wants to put it on the end because if I'm bringing in like lumber and stuff, longer like 16-foot poles, 2x4s, I can walk into the door easier, and I have better crosswind flow if I want to open the small door. But at the same time, if I put them on the ends, my garage door's got to be offset by about 1 foot from dead center, which again is not really a problem, but I'm wondering if it'll make my garage look weird in that process. So I think what'll probably happen is the day he gets here and decides to start, that's when I'll make my decision, because as of right now I still have not made my decision, and there's about even pros and cons to both. So who the hell knows? Part of me likes the idea of having it facing the street, because that way I can just walk up and grab it, and also it's less likely to have a problem with the water draining off my roof and off the building, splashing between them and causing a leak in the door. So it's probably where I'm going to end up, is both facing straight east and west, as opposed to both doors facing south. So who the hell knows? Down the road I might end up putting in a nicer door with like a actual window in it, like glass, so you can look out. If somebody comes up the garage, I'll be able to see them. But for right now, I think what I'll probably do is just throw a camera out there and a little monitor inside the garage, or you can pull up my phone and see who walked up to my door in that scenario. But it's all just a crapshoot, see what I'm going to end up with. So who the hell knows? Got done with that and grabbed myself a shower, and basically decided I was going to do for dinner. We were discussing it. Karen was figuring out what she was going to have, and we were going to eat separately. And I'm like, hey, we talked about having salmon patties this week anyway, so they don't take that long. They take less than 20 minutes to make. Why don't we go ahead and do salmon patties? So she goes, yeah, it works. So knocked out some salmon patties, had herself a nice little dinner, watched another episode of Big Mouth, and we were discussing Big Mouth this season. And it's gotten a little grosser than it was before. Like, because the first season, I remember even thinking like, hey, this actually be a pretty decent show to add some humor into it and a little education. If you have teenage kids that are going through puberty and whatever, and you want to talk to about some of the stuff, it might be a bit of a way to open up the dialogue with your kids. But this season has become gross enough that I can't imagine anybody would want to watch this with their kids. It's just got a little bit of, I don't mind it because I don't have kids, but I remember thinking like, it kind of sucks, because this was a bit of an, like an educational thing. You kind of cheat with this, and it might not be really where you get all your information for your kids, but it's a great place to start the conversation and then move out from after that. But yeah, I'm not the writer, I'm not the director, so it don't matter. But it was just kind of made me a little sad, because I was like hopeful for the education of the future that kind of got squashed with this one, but it is what it is. So yeah, from there got done and headed back outside, chilled out the dogs, grabbed a cigar, and I decided to try the new Japanese whiskey that I bought. And it was all right. I don't know, it's definitely not my go-to. I would drink it again. Like if somebody would want to try it, I'd have a drink with them. But there was just something off about it. I don't know what it was. It had a weird, kind of a weird like sake taste, which I'm not a fan of sake, but had a weird like peppery taste. But it wasn't like spicy per se. It was like a weird, like it almost tastes like jalapeno or something in it, like habanero, but it wasn't like, it didn't burn my mouth or nothing, but it had that weird, that's what my brain kicked into, was spicy peppers when I drank it. So like, I don't know, who knows, but I'll try it again, and I'll probably try it neat. I tried it on the rocks this time. I don't know why I didn't at least try it neat to begin with, and maybe it'll be better warm, who knows, but it's definitely not my top of the list by any means. So I'll probably try another Japanese whiskey or two, just because you never know, there might be another one that is much better. But as of right now, I'm still going to probably lean towards my Macallan and stick with it, and then my salted caramel for mixing with my root beer, and that shit is just straight up delicious. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I ended up with. And then after hanging out with the dogs a little bit, headed back inside, grabbed myself a little bowl of Doritos, and watched a episode of Frasier with my bride, and then I ended up watching a little more of the TV show Old Man, and finished episode 1, then rolled over, put on a comedy podcast, and went to sleep. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.